Hello dear students, today we will start up chapter 2 of our biology, that is control and coordination. So as the name suggests, in our body we have different functions. Now your nervous system is one of the major system which is controlling and coordinating the other functions in your body. Now before going on to the topic, I would like to discuss about small definitions with you. Number one is the stimulus. Now stimulus is the change in the external environment which gives a sensation. Then is the effector organ which will be affected. Then is the receptor. Receptor means which will take. For example, if we prick a finger or if we touch a hot object, then the skin will act as a receptor. Now in our control and coordination chapter, the first thing which we have to deal is with the neuron. Now this diagram you must be familiar as you have done in your class 9 also. Now the structure of neuron. In neuron there are two major parts, that is cyton and axon. Now I want to tell you that neuron is the largest cell in our body. It may be up to 1 meter long. Now the cyton comprise of the nucleus and the dendrite. These dendrite pick up the stimulus. Then is the axon, long axon. Here it is covered by myelin sheath. Just like electricity travels in the wire, in the same way in our neurons also the electrical impulses are traveling. So they are well insulated by the myelin sheath. But here I have labeled a thing, node of Ranvier. These are the places where this myelin sheath is missing. I have drawn them. Here this myelin sheath is not present. There is a role of this node of Ranvier also, that from here one more axon may arise or enter a muscle cell which will help in the change of the positioning of the muscle cell. Later on we will discuss about the neuromuscular junction. Then is the axon ending. From here the nerve impulse is passed on to the dendrite of the next neuron. So they are one after the other. But we must take care that we must keep in our mind that two neurons are never connected. They have a gap between. If for example the next neuron will not directly be attached here, the dendrite will start from here. There will be a gap between the two neurons. Now we will discuss what this gap is known as. This is known as synapse. Synapse is the gap between the two neurons. Now I was talking about this. Now let us discuss about this synapse. Now in synapse, the transmission of nerve impulse from one neuron to the other occurs. If I draw a enlarged view, this is the axon ending of one neuron. Then there is gap, and here is the dendrite of the other neuron. Now here is the empty space. This is known as the synapse. So the two neurons are not linked. So how will be the nerve impulse travel from one neuron to the other? There is a chemical which is known as neurotransmitter. And the name of this neurotransmitter is, this is very important, it is acetylcholine. So acetylcholine is the neurotransmitter which will be released by the axon here in the synapse. So there will be changes in the membrane and the signal will be picked up by the dendrite of the next neuron and so on. So it's not necessary that two neurons should be connected. Now next topic is that for picking up the various stimulus, we have receptors in our body. There are different receptors. For example, when you go out in bright light, you quickly close your eyes. So that is due to photoreceptor. Photoreceptor is present in the eyes. Then is olfactory receptor. Olfactory receptor is there in your olfactory receptor is there in your nose. Then is on your skin also tango receptors are there. For touch stimulus and gustatory receptor. They are present on your tongue. That's why you are able to taste different food. You are able to differentiate between sweet, sour, bitter. That is all due to these receptors. Now there is a very small activity given in your book, activity that is saying that put some sugar in your mouth. It will taste sweet, very sweet. Now in the next step what they say, close your nose and then put sugar in your mouth. Then what will happen? Maybe the sugar will not taste as much sweet because here the olfactory receptors were closed and the signal is not sent to the brain properly, and you take time in detecting the taste of it. Moreover, whenever you are having cold and your nose is blocked, you are not able to taste your food well. So that is all due to these receptors. Now the next topic comes is reflex action. Reflex action, it is the automatic and spontaneous response of the body. It is automatic and spontaneous, very quick response of the body, and it is controlled by the spinal cord. Spinal cord will control it. Now what happens, whenever we touch a hot object, we quickly lift our hand. We do not wait for it. Now what happens at this time, the brain don't even think and the action is being performed. So it is very fast. And in highly developed organisms like human beings, this reflex action is very well coordinated. Now here in reflex action, spinal cord will do all the work, but the brain will keep the memory. The work of brain is to keep the memory that we don't have to touch this hot object again. That will be memorized in the brains. So brain is just for memorizing the things in reflex action, and all the actions will be spontaneously performed by the spinal cord. Now I am drawing a reflex action. This is given in your NCERT book also. Here what happens, there are three types of neuron in reflex action: motor neuron, sensory neuron, and the third is the relay neuron. Now I will draw the reflex action diagram in which we will see the location of these three neurons. For example, this is the skin. These are the skin cell. And when any hot object is being touched, then what will happen? The motor impulse will be sent. Motor neuron will carry the message to the, this is your spinal cord, PS. Transverse section of the spine, like if it is the spinal cord, then it is being cut in a transverse way. Okay. Now this spinal cord will send the message by the sensory neuron. Here there are two. There is one more neuron. This is known as the relay neuron. Relay neuron will help to connect the motor neuron and the sensory neuron. Now here it will send the message to the skin that the hand has to be lifted from the hot object. So these are connected. Sensory neuron will bring the message. Neuron relay is connecting motor neuron and the sensory neuron, and the impulse of the lifting up the hand will go to the skin and we take our hand off from the hot object. Now this is a reflex action. Now in this, we have discussed the synapse, neuromuscular junction. Neuromuscular junction is the junction between it's the point of entry where the axon will invade a muscle cell so that it cause an action, because axon will send the message to the muscle cell and it's only muscle cell which will be taking up the action. So neuromuscular junction is the point where the axon will invade a muscle cell. Now we come on to the topic of reflex arc. Reflex arc is the path followed by the nerve impulse. Reflex arc is the path followed. It is the path followed by the nerve impulse during a reflex action. Now what happens that receptors are there in the skin. Now I am drawing a reflex arc. Receptors are there in the skin. From here, the impulse will go, sensory impulse will go and it will be picked by the spinal cord. Which will send the message to motor impulse, and finally the motor impulse will send the message to the effector muscle that yes, the hand has to be lifted from the hot object. Now receptor in the skin will receive the stimulus and it will send the sensory impulse to spinal cord, and spinal cord will interpret the message and it will send the motor impulse to effector organ, and finally the muscles of the hand will contract and it is withdrawn quickly. Now the next topic is that how does the nervous tissue cause action. All the organs of the body are connected to the brain and spinal cord through nerves. An impulse is set by the brain or spinal cord in the neuron. Impulse passes through the cell, body, axon, and on reaching the synaptic knob, it stimulates the knob to receive the chemical neurotransmitter that we have already discussed. Now neurotransmitter will bind to the next cell and in this way a stimulus is set up. Now we will discuss how the brain and spinal cord are protected. Brain and spinal cord, because they are very vital organs of human nervous system. So how are they protected? Brain is protected by the cranium, or you can call as skull. Internal to it like 3 meninges or layers in which cerebrospinal fluid is filled. In this cerebrospinal fluid is filled. Similarly, the spinal cord have 33 vertebrae, small bones, then it have 3 meninges, and similarly it too have the cerebrospinal fluid. So students, today we have covered up the topic of structure of neuron, reflex action, reflex arc, and how these brain and spinal cord are protected. Protection of brain and spinal cord. So we will take up the next topic in the next class. Thank you.